This is taken from 1 John chapter 3, verse 1. How great is the love the Father has lavished on us, that we should be called children of God. And that is what we are. The reason the world does not know us is that it did not know him. Dear friends, now we are children of God, and what we will be has not yet been made known. But we shall know that when he appears, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is. Everyone who has this hope purifies himself, just as he is pure. I was at university. During my second year at university, I remember going to a church and being really challenged by the question, who is Jesus Christ? I thought I knew. After encountering some Christians and looking at the Bible for myself, I was really challenged at my understanding of who I thought Jesus was. And I became convinced that Jesus was who he says he is in the Gospels, that he isn't just an ordinary man or a teacher or a good person, but that he was God in the flesh who's come to seek and to save people who are lost. People like me, I think I knew what life was all about, but then I realised that Jesus has a purpose for each one of us. He wants us to live in this world with him and enjoy him. I was living in the world and enjoying what I wanted to do, and I vividly remember wanting to go his way. That then really was the beginning of my Christian journey, listening to Jesus' teaching in the Bible and wanting to go his way in my life, realising that he died on the cross for me so that I could be his friend. I got to know some amazing Christians in the local church, and they inspired me to want to know God better for myself, and I kept going to church. And then I felt really passionate about speaking to other people about Jesus and sharing what I'd found out about him with them. So speaking about how historically he lived, that he taught incredible things, that he was killed on the cross for what the people said then was blasphemy, him claiming to be God. But then he raised himself from the dead 3 days later, proving there's life after death. So I realised this wasn't just irrelevant or boring, but this meant something to me as well, because I knew that one day I was going to die. The Bible says that if we trust in Jesus, there's life in death, which is pretty compelling and worth investigating. And I found really good answers to the questions that I had. And then I became convinced, as I said, that Jesus was who he said he was, that he was God, and that he did what he said he did, namely died, rose again, ascended into heaven, and promises that one day he's going to come back to judge the world. So that really compelled me to want to share that good news with others. So what does my religion mean to me? Well, actually, it's not a religion, it's more of a relationship. I know Jesus Christ personally. I've encountered him through the scriptures, in the world, and in and through other Christians as well. And now I'm really passionate about making him known to others. Has it spread to every area of my life? Well, I think so. Not only do I want to share my faith, but that practically means living and growing to be more like Jesus. So he was the most loving, compassionate, generous person, and that has an impact on me, how I want to live. I want to be a loving person, respectful, kind, generous, go out of my way for others, regardless of who they are, their background, their story. Everybody, the Bible says, is made in the image of God and therefore has meaning, value and dignity because they bear the image of God. I want to help people to understand more about God's purpose for them, to enjoy life and to glorify him in their life and to be with him forever. So I think that's quite a cool purpose. I have the privilege of being involved with people at the highest points of their life and also the lowest. So weddings and funerals, baptisms, but also just daily living with the church family as I seek to pastor them and to care for them and to love them and to help them to grow too into the image of God and to work out what that means for them. And I think there's lots of opportunities for the church to be living a countercultural life that shows the community that the church really does make a difference, that knowing Jesus really can impact a generation. I think that we're living in a time where people are so biblically illiterate now they don't know the Christian message. They don't know the story that Jesus is God, come into the world to live the most incredible life, to die in our place on the cross, to take the punishment that you and I deserve for living our life without him. And if we trust him, he promises to give us life and that relationship with him now that's going to last all the way through eternity, so that when we come back to life after we die, we're going to be with him forever.